Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are nearly here. I have the games early, and I have confirmed every version exclusive between both games. Scarlet exclusives, Violet exclusives. All of that information is in this video. Let's get into it. Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you can do me a favor before we get right into the information, please consider subscribing. I've been posting a ton of Scarlet and Violet early gameplay videos and all this fun stuff, impressions, these kinds of things. The support recently has been crazy. I really do appreciate it. But I don't want to bore you with all the nonsense. We're just going to go right into this. If you are trying to decide which version of Pokemon Scarlet or Violet to get, this is the video for you. We're just going to go right into all of the version differences. Now, before we get into Pokemon, like actual species, there are a couple things to consider. First thing is your mount. One of the big features of this game is that you actually mount the legendary Pokemon Miraidon or Koraidon. All of these things will depend on your personal preference for designs or what Pokemon you want, but this one's pretty big because you will be seeing this Pokemon throughout the entire game. You will be using it as a bike, essentially. Violet gets Miraidon and Scarlet gets Koraidon. You will also have different clothes options based on your game. Pokemon Scarlet players will have kind of like an orange uniform for the school, whereas Violet players will have a purple or blue kind of color scheme for their outfit, starting out at least. You'll also have two different professors. If you're playing on Scarlet, you'll have Professor Sada, and if you're playing on Violet, you will have Professor Turo. And that is essentially it. So let's go ahead and get into all of these exclusive Pokemon for each version. Now, we're gonna get into new Pokemon names. I will do a big spoiler warning before we get to like the serious stuff. So for now, it's mostly gonna be old Pokemon returning, and then we'll get to the new stuff if you don't want to hear that just yet. Though I think the new exclusive Pokemon for each version are a huge factor in which version you should buy. So my suggestion would be just listen to the rest of this video. But let's go ahead and get into this. So Scarlet, just running through, has Armarouge. This was the new kind of knightly looking Pokemon that was revealed a few months ago. Then you have Stonejourner, that's from Sword and Shield. You have Oranguru from Sun and Moon. Stunky/Skuntank from Diamond and Pearl. Drifloon/Drifblim. Larvitar, Pupitar, and Tyranitar, those are all exclusive. Dino, Zweilous, and Hydreigon, those are also exclusive. Skrelp, and Dragalge, and Miraidon. So those are all your regular returning Pokemon. Well, obviously Armarouge and Miraidon are new Pokemon, but all those other ones are returning Pokemon exclusive to Pokemon Scarlet. Now we go to Violet really quick. You have Ceruledge, the counterpart to Armarouge. Spoiler alert, Armarouge and Ceruledge evolve from a different Pokemon. You can get the different one depending on what version you're playing. So if you're playing Violet, you get Ceruledge. If you're playing Scarlet, it will evolve into Armarouge. Then we have Ice-Q from Sword and Shield, Passimian from Sun and Moon, Gulpin and Swalot, Misdreavus and Mismagius. Then you have access to the Salamence line, which is Bagon, Shelgon, and Salamence. Of course, that's a fan favorite. Same thing with Tyranitar for Scarlet. That's kind of your counterpart there. Then you have Dreepy, Dracloak, and Dragapult from Sword and Shield as well. That's your counterpart to the Dano line in Scarlet. That's what's exclusive over there. Clauncher and Clawitzer to kind of mirror that Skrelp and Dragalge. And then Koraidon, the new legendary. Now, we're moving fast. We're just going to keep going. This is your final spoiler warning. If you do not want to hear names of new Pokemon and new things that are happening in these games, click off. But with that said, let's get into this. So in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, there's this new thing called Paradox Pokemon, which basically means Game Freak and the Pokemon Company took old Pokemon and powered them up, gave them new types, and gave them new designs. They are technically new Pokemon. They are not forms. They have a new Pokédex number. And there are a lot of exclusive ones. Basically, everyone is exclusive. I don't think there's one that's shared between both games. So, let's just go ahead and get into this. This is, in my opinion, like the determining factor of if you should buy, you know, which version, depending on which Pokemon you like more. I can't show images in this video, but I'll tell you their typings, and you can find the images online somewhere if you look hard enough. I just can't show them because Nintendo will take down the video. So, starting off, this one was confirmed. We have Great Tusk, which is a Donphan Paradox. It is ground fighting type. Really cool design. I'm a big fan of that. And these are all for Scarlet, by the way. Scarlet has all the past forms. Violet has all the future-looking forms. Screamtail Jigglypuff. This is Fairy Psychic. This is Jigglypuff with a Majin Buu-looking hair thing. I'm not sure how I feel about it personally. We have Brute Bonnet, which is a paradox of Amoonguss. It is Grass and Dark type. Fluttermane, which is Misdreavus, Ghost and Fairy type. And you might notice that's a little weird. So what they've done here is you kind of get the opposite. So Violet players get Misdreavus. If you have Scarlet, you cannot get Misdreavus and Mismagius regularly without trading. But the paradox of Misdreavus is exclusive to Scarlet. A lot of people have been confused on this because as we get to with one of these other ones, basically, if there's a Paradox exclusive, typically that means you can't get it in the other version. I'll explain that more in detail. So then we have, Mr. Viscose Fairy, Slitherwing Volcarona, Bug Fighting type, really cool design. Sandy Shocks Magneton, that is electric and ground. Roaring Moon Salamence, which is dragon and dark. And once again, those were all of the Paradox Pokemon in Pokemon Scarlet. So, Salamence, this is a big deal. I know a lot of people are confused about this. Salamence, the regular Pokemon that you all know and love, is exclusive to Pokemon Violet. You cannot get it in Pokemon Scarlet without trading. However, the Paradox version of Salamence, called Roaring Moon, which is Dragon and Dark type, has a crazy sick design. I recommend you Google it because it is awesome. That is exclusive to Pokemon Scarlet, so please keep that in mind. Moving on to Pokemon Violet. Here are all the Paradox Pokemon in that game. You have Iron Treads Donphan, so another Donphan. This is the future-looking one, and these are all future designs. That one's Ground Steel type. You have Iron Bundle, which is Delibird. Really cool design here, Ice and Water. Iron Hands Hariyama, which is Fighting Electric type. Iron Jugulus, Hydreigon. Once again, Hydreigon, the regular Pokemon, is exclusive to Scarlet, but the Paradox is exclusive to Violet. That is Dark Flying type. Iron Moth Volcarona, so this is the future version of Volcarona, whereas Scarlet has the past. That is going to be a Fire Poison type. Iron Thorns Tyranitar, which is Rock Electric, and once again, Tyranitar, that entire line, is exclusive to Scarlet. You cannot get it in Violet without trading, but Paradox Tyranitar is exclusive to Violet. I've gotten so many comments about that, so I really want to drive it home. It is kind of swapped how they did it. And then the final Paradox Pokemon to talk about today is Iron Valiant, which is one of the coolest ones in my opinion. It's basically a mix of Gallade and Gardevoir. We're calling it Galovore here. It's fairy fighting type. The design, basically, they mushed them both together, and they both kind of merged them. And then it's fairy fighting type. Very cool design. And that is every version exclusive in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. There may be some more subtle differences, and there might be one or two Pokemon that we don't know about yet. As time goes on, we'll discover more. But that is every confirmed Pokemon that is exclusive to each version right now. So let me know down in the comments below, based on all of this, which version do you think wins the war right now? Which version do you think has the best exclusive Pokemon? Me personally, I like the future designs, so I'm going with Violet. I know that's not the popular opinion right now, I don't think, but I would love to know your thoughts down below. And if you found this video informative, please consider subscribing and hitting that like button. It really does help me out, and you won't miss any of my upcoming Pokemon Scarlet and Violet videos. And I'll be streaming on release day and all these fun things. I've almost beat the game, so I'm getting there. Obviously I showed my copies. I got it early. And go check out my early impressions video that has like 27,000 views. Crazy support on that, for a new video on my channel. So thank you all so much. Really do appreciate it. I'm done rambling. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye bye.